Yeah.
Passing to all of you.
I felt this like romantic like immediately. It was like, oh my god, I don't know what come out. First I back which was like, and I have a broken toe, and I broke when I was a teenager. So it was like insane pain, like insane. When I had my son, it was it's nice. I could just, comparing. No, with my daughter, I thought, I think it's something like here. I don't know what it was, but it was. Oh, probably so much for the I didn't have
Okay,
any.
hello everyone.
I love the kids.
Thank you all for coming. I'm very privileged and honored to be able to invite all of you. And first, before I begin, I want to just give a round of applause for all of you for coming. Exactly for coming because you care about health, you care about your lifestyle, you care about improving, and not just yourself, but also your families. And I think that's a very important component to this lecture. So I have also the privilege here to introduce to you Dr. Pradunya. Let's give him a warm welcome. Dr. Pradunya has over 15 years experience in Ayurveda. He graduated from Mysore University in South India. He's done postgraduate work on botany. He's also done research teaching postgraduate students and PhD students in Ayurveda. So he's very good in informing you of the complexities and the finer things of Ayurveda as well. So let's give one more round of welcome. At the end of the seminar, we'll have a Q&A.
Hare Krishna and good evening everybody. Most of us have met today. We have such a wonderful place here, Alachua. I could not even imagine that it would be so beautiful, so calm and so serene. It's amazing, unimaginable. But we have to expose ourselves to so many contrasting seasons, pollutants, chemicals, sound pollution, what not. So, not every place in the world is as superbly beautiful and tranquil like Alachua. So, when you migrate or when you keep moving, when you go elsewhere, we react to anything and everything. The human system is a living system, and anything and everything is a stimulant, and we respond to it. Response to stimulus is the way of life. So the stimulus can be good or bad or stressful. Why good, bad or stressful? Stress can be good and bad, both. That's the reason, good, bad and stressful. So the human system starts reacting to stimulus in various ways. It can be pressure, it can be temperature, it can be anything. The human system needs to be strong enough to resist the strong influence of negativities in the atmosphere, in the environment. So, what are the methods by which we can remain strong? Because as I take you through the presentation, I'll touch upon a point where we elaborate on the inverse relation between the strength of the individual and the strength of the disease. If we are strong, the disease or disease process is weak. If we become weak, the disease or disease process becomes stronger. So, we have to find ways to remain strong, and it is possible. Curative medicine comes later. Preventive care is first and foremost. If we have the idea of how to maintain our energy levels to a very high level, how to think positive, how to be positive, If we know about proper diet, proper lifestyle, specific to the geographical area where we are staying, we can fine tune our response to the different various stressors that we face in day to day life. So, Ayurveda touches upon everything starting from preventive care to curative. It's a very, very clinical science. It is a healthcare system. It's a way of life. If you want to, practice Ayurveda as a way of life, there are a number of things that we have to follow in Dinacharya and Rutucharya. I'll elaborate on these points. When we talk about clinical Ayurveda, today I am wanting to present on clinical Ayurveda. Why clinical Ayurveda? Why did I prefix the term clinical? Because Ayurveda for many is going to the spas and taking massages and relaxing. That's Ayurveda. For many, it is home remedies. Yeah, crushed ginger and tulsi, and it's good for this, it's good for that. It works. But that's not all about Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a vast science. It's a colossal science. It's a comprehensive system. And for some, it is a alternative system of medicine. For some, it is complementary. What's the difference between complementary and alternative? I don't want the allopathic system. I'll go for an alternative system. So I'll choose Ayurveda. This is the alternative method. One more system of healthcare is there. This is not all. Complementary is when people are already on the allopathic drugs, they would want to do something with Ayurveda also. So there are different categories. People who are only on allopathic system, people who are on allopathic system and a little of Ayurveda, and people who are on completely on Ayurvedic care, who have chosen it as the first line of treatment, and people who believe I won't take any medicine whatsoever. There are people who are so proud to say, I've never seen a doctor in my life. No, they are blessed. Yeah. So there are various categories. So Ayurveda, when a system of healthcare is already existing, billions of dollars has already been pumped into research and clinical trials and animal studies and endless in vitro, in vivo studies. Then comes the insurance factor. Then comes the connect between the patient, the pharma companies, the doctor. When there is already a well set system which is also supported by the insurance system, why do we need Ayurveda? Is Ayurveda still relevant in the present scenario? This is a question I put to myself because this may be the question which goes on in your mind also. Ayurveda is a clinically time-tested, comprehensive system of healthcare. Why I use the term clinically time-tested? Since at least we can date the Charaka Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, the textbooks of Ayurveda which talk about the internal medicine and the surgery part, it dates back to 3000 BC. So since 3000 BC, the principles have remained the same. The practice keeps on changing. Science is there. Technology arrives later. The basic fundamental understanding of the human system is so very well presented. But as technology goes on developing, we can absorb that to understand these principles better. And that's what is happening. It's a comprehensive system of healthcare. Why? Any system of healthcare should have a rock solid fundamental basics. It cannot be that you take this, it is good for that. Fine, it may work, but there should be a basis for that. There should be a connect between diagnostics, therapeutics, and the molecular makeup of the herbs. So once you connect everything, the pathogenesis, the disease, that is the disease process, and the remedy, and you see the outcome, positive outcome, then everything is in a line, everything is explained. This is science. You can keep repeating it and you can get the same result out of it. So it is a very scientific system of healthcare. This is possible with Ayurveda. It has been aggressively researched upon. Today, we see so many drugs, allopathic drugs, so many. Do we know or can we clearly say they are not from herbs? Because what happens in Ayurveda, we don't pick molecules from a medicinal plant. We just take an extract out of it, we concentrate it, we dehydrate it, pulverize it to reduce the dose. But we do not pick up one or two molecules from that. That is why if you see today's prescriptions, 2 tablets twice a day, 4 tablets twice a day, like the dose is a little higher in Ayurveda generally, because we don't isolate the molecules. We use the whole plant, maybe we dehydrate it, but do not disturb the equilibrium in the content. But in allopathic system, what happens? They find a therapeutically active molecule, pick up that particular molecule and reduce the dose from 500 mg to 0.5 mg or 1 mg or 5 mg. So there is an advantage, but that comes with a lot of adverse effects and side effects. Once a molecule is selected and picked, they need not give credit to the herb from where it was picked from. It gets a different chemical name. So we would not know how many of today's popular medicines are, have been, taken from Ayurveda as a basis. We will never know, because there are so many laws protecting the patent and so many other things. But where we differ is we do not disturb the equilibrium of the herb. The therapeutic values remain the same. We start dehydrating or we start reducing the dose by concentration. So it is scientifically proven. Like I'll take you through some of the case studies also. Latest advancement in diagnostic methods. Today we have the MRI, CT scan, so many clinical markers, biochemical studies. All these can be taken advantage of. What I do with Ayurveda, you can test with the most modern diagnostics, seamlessly integrated. I am treating a very, very difficult case of multiple sclerosis, which has possibly no known cure in the allopathic system. So if I am treating the condition, how do I know whether the patient is improving? So make use of the diagnostics. Radiologically or biochemically, there are markers, make use of it. Keep tracing it. We will see the progress or otherwise. If we are not, in the right track, that is also reflected. So this is the advantage of Ayurveda. We can make use of every modern diagnostic tool to understand the progress of Ayurveda. If someone is on Ayurvedic care, so how they have benefited or how they might not have benefited, or is the benefit setting in very slowly, everything can be understood. As I mentioned, Ayurveda can be as a way of life. If you consider Ayurveda as a way of life, there are set rules known as Dinacharya and Rutucharya. Dinacharya is in a 24-hour cycle. In a 24-hour cycle, you should be doing some things which are very, very supportive to take care of the health, to de-stress our system on a day-to-day basis and detoxify our systems on a day-to-day basis. Not that we carry the huge load of toxins and over a decade's time a simple condition can become a complex condition and turn into a untreatable or unmanageable or incurable disease. So on a day-to-day basis, if we start showing an exit route to the toxins which are building up in the system, what better can there be? What better option is there? Like, we have methods to do this in a simple manner. Wake up early in the morning. For devotees, we need not say that. It's already there in their biological rhythms or circadian clock. Like get up at 3:30 in the morning. So this is the best thing to happen. Generally, for people who are not devotees, who have a habit of waking up much later, and try to wake up as close to sunrise as possible. It's known as the Brahmi Muhurta. It's known as Brahmi Muhurte Uttishte Jirna Jirna Nirupayan Rakshartham Ayushaha Swastho. This is the Sanskrit version which says, wake up in the Brahmi Muhurta. as close to sunrise as possible. Then the first thing is see to it, habituate yourself that the first thing you do is evacuate your bowels and clear your bladder, which is possible. We need to habituate ourselves for that, because there is a urge which comes early in the morning to cleanse ourselves. But if we suppress it, the urge may not come back for next 4 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours maybe. So this is it is known as Vega. In Ayurveda, we call it as Vega. So we should not suppress these Vegas. These urges should not be suppressed. Then, an exercise routine. It can be yoga, it can be yogasana, it can be a combination of yoga and exercise, and again various levels of exertion is recommended for different age groups. Because in the youth, energy invested as exercise comes back, it gives you back in the double probably. But as you age, you only exert and nothing comes back. You tire. So there you need to only keep yourself active. Otherwise, if you spend a lot of energy, you may not get back anything beyond 70, 75 years of age. So there you have to be active. You have to be active but not exert too much. So these principles are we deal in depth.
You said 75, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you have.
Hope that's right. Hope is there to invest in.
Definitely, you should. So generally 45 minutes of any exercise which makes you sweat. 45 minutes which makes you sweat. You can choose between brisk morning walk, good swimming, something like tennis or table tennis, cycling about 10 to 12 kilometers a day. So various options are there. Or if you don't want to go out of your house, 12 rounds of Surya Namaskara. Surya Namaskara is a wonderful set of 12 yogasanas where for every pose there is a counter pose. For every forward bending of the spine there is a backward bend. So it is a very well balanced set of yogasanas. It has 12 asanas, 12 postures which should be repeated 12 times. When it is done properly, you will sweat as if you are running, at a 25 kilometers speed or something like that. If it is done properly. So, if you want to go outdoors, there are options. If you want to stay indoors, there are options. But try to do things as natural as possible. Using a treadmill or a stationary cycle, the treadmill can never mimic running on the ground. It can never mimic. People who do the brisk morning walk never damage their knees. Knee joints are intact. But people who overdo the treadmill, the knee joints start wearing out. You cannot mimic. It cannot be an equivalent for regular running. Okay. Then on a daily basis, do a little massage. As much as possible, as much as practically possible. It can be a once in a week program or twice in a week or all days if time permits. Use sesame oil with a little salt, warm it up and massage all over the body for a few minutes. Soak in it for 10 minutes and take warm bath. Use coconut oil for the massage of the scalp. Okay? The effects of this simple thing, spending 10 minutes on a simple massage before bath, the effects are so tangible. The muscles relax so well, you may not feel like going to work.
Sleep right away.
But done on a day-to-day basis, it becomes the source for energizing the system. The flow of blood circulation is augmented. Once the blood circulation is good, that means the nutrition absorbed through the digestive system reaches every cell of the body. And the toxin in each and every cell of the body makes an exit also. Because it's a loop. Circulation is a loop. So One is active exercise, as I mentioned, and massage is a passive exercise. Still, without a lot of exertion, the circulation is improving by the massage procedure. We call it as Abhyangam. Abhyangam is a daily massage which is recommended. Okay? Coconut oil for the head, sesame oil for the body. Simple massage, soak in it for few minutes and take a warm shower. Then food. Dietetics is a very big topic. I would take at least 5 sessions of 1 hour each because it's a very elaborate topic. Just to tell in a nutshell, how much to eat, when to eat. The best thing is there are so many versions. Eat little quantity of food many number of times and endless. Eat only raw food, eat only proteins, no carbs, endless. When to drink water, there are 10 options. When to eat fruit, there are 10 versions. When not to eat fruit, there are 20 versions. People are confused when to eat fruit. That many articles have come. Don't eat in night, don't eat before meal, don't eat after meal, with the meal. When to eat? So, there are so many confusing things. But in Ayurveda, everything is reasoned out. Fruits come with their own fund of enzymes. They don't, take away your energy to digest. They can digest with the enzymes which comes in a package. Okay? So, fruits, this is one thing, it's a topic in itself. Again, fruits are meant to be eaten. But we start drinking as juice. So what is the advantage, what is the disadvantage? Advantage is you save time, disadvantage is you don't digest it. What happens? Fruits have a lot of acidic, it's acidic in nature generally. It has a lot of fructose in it. So fructose has to digest with the saliva, amylase, which is in the salivary, system. So when you eat the fruits and chew them, lot of saliva is produced and the digestion process starts in the mouth itself. But if you just drink if you just drink 3 apples as juice, where is the amount of saliva? This is acid and inside stomach again it is acid. So you will have double the acid. So when you chew it, though the food is acidic, for example, lemon juice. Lemon juice is acidic in nature. But when you take, it is so sour, so much of saliva is produced that it's like a ton of saliva on a drop of acid. So it becomes, its net effect becomes like it is an alkalizing agent. It alkalizes the body. So eat fruits. Compared to drinking fruit juices, try to eat fruits. If you really can't get fresh fruits, if you really have to take juices, take it sip by sip as if you are drinking hot tea or coffee. So that gives sufficient time for the salivary secretions to work on the fruit juices. Okay? Then meal times. I'm just quickly touching upon many of these concepts. Meal times. There are so many ideas again given. But what Ayurveda says is something like 11 o'clock lunch and 11 a.m. lunch and 7 p.m. dinner. You can eat half an hour, 1 hour this way, that way. If you have 2 good meals, you don't need to eat anything, you don't need to snack anytime in between, nothing at all. You don't need to remind yourself about lunch time or snack time or coffee time or nothing. 11 a.m. lunch and 7 p.m. dinner. Yes?
Does that exclude breakfast?
You don't need breakfast. Actually, if you do this, you don't need breakfast. What I mean to say is, 2 good meals will keep the batteries charged throughout. You don't need to, keep taking, because digestion is a batch by batch process. Okay? Every successive step works in a very different way. In the mouth, it is an alkaline medium which is doing the digestion. In the stomach, it is the acidic medium which is doing the digestion. The next step, liver and pancreas secretes. The secretions of liver and pancreas are alkaline in nature. Each successive step neutralizes the previous pH. So when you start a process, wait till the entire process is finished, which takes about 4 to 8 hours. So till this 4 to 8 hours, don't disturb the process. Don't keep throwing things in. If you want to make, if you want to cook rice, not in a cooker, in an open vessel, you take raw rice, you put water, put it on the stove, and if it takes 20 minutes to cook, what do? You wait 20 minutes or you keep throwing raw rice every 5 minutes? So if you start this process and keep adding raw things into it, the final product is a mess. You don't know whether it is cooked or uncooked or overcooked or whether it is edible. So digestion is like that. Whatever you want to eat, a full thali, full meal, have it in a peaceful manner, give it 20 minutes time, chew thoroughly, in a calm environment, don't attend phone calls, don't be distracted. So it is possible, we have to habituate us. See, this is what is necessary. At least we will know how far away we have drifted from, what is actually supporting our body. The principles which are supporting the body, how much we have drifted away. At least that much if we know, I don't think we will, do too many mistakes. So, meal times, yeah.
When would you recommend it, for example, to break out of the principle to get used to have something in your mouth in the morning time? Because sometimes your stomach feels empty and you need to put something on it. So what can be recommended Ayurvedically?
Fruits can be taken, dry fruits can be taken. Definitely, if you feel like. What I mean to say here is, if 2 meals are taken in this manner, you won't feel hungry anytime. You won't remind about the eating process anytime. You can focus your attention on anything else. Okay? This is what I mean to say. Again, about raw foods and cooked foods. Huge debate, argument. If you leave 2 groups, they will kill each other. That is the kind of aggressive writings we see supporting raw food. Again, how much of raw foods we need to take? How much of cooked foods we have to take? Something like 70% of cooked food and 30% of raw food is possibly a good combination. Raw foods are very rich in nutrition, but they are not sterile. Processed foods, cooked foods, yeah.
They're not what?
Sterile.
They are not sterile, you are not cooking them, they are not sterile. Cooked foods or any process of cooking or baking or frying or roasting, it is a process of sterilization of food. This part is sterile and filling, that part is not sterile but rich in nutrition. Somewhere you have to strike a balance. You have to mix and match. In cooked foods, you cannot kill minerals. You cannot kill iron, you cannot kill magnesium, salts and minerals. They stay. Even if you char the food, they are still there. Yeah? So, minerals are intact in cooked or, processed foods. Or, cooked foods basically. Here, minerals and vitamins are intact, but there is a risk of the food not being sterile. Because we don't know where it comes from. If they are grown hygienically, fine. If at every step broccoli is given a shower of pesticide and we don't cook it and consume it raw, it looks like a criminal offense to the body. Yeah. So we can't wash it off thoroughly. At least cooking is a process of sterilization of food. So mix and match. Again, next most important step is geographically relevant dietetics. Our diet has to be geographically relevant. Because in winter, we don't sweat. The body does not dissipate heat. The heat gets trapped deep inside and augments the digestive efficiency. So in winter, you can eat and digest heavier foods. In summer, when you keep sweating, you dissipate the body heat and the digestive efficiency goes down. So you need to support your body with simpler, lighter, more fluid kind of food. Here I would take India as an example. because there are various geographical areas, and every specific geographical area has a specific dietetic pattern. If you go towards south, it is mostly a rice-based diet where the food is quite light compared to the north part of India. If you go towards the colder climates like the Punjabi thali or the Rajasthani diet, it is very heavy. But that geographical region needs that. Over thousands of years, they have mastered what is most suitable diet for this geography. If for a Punjabi you give a South Indian, full meal, he may digest it in 1 hour. If you give a full Punjabi or a Rajasthani meal to a South Indian, he may take 2-3 days to digest. This is the kind of difference. But now every food is available everywhere. Season or non-seasonal foods, everything is available on the shelves. Every person has migrated from everywhere. It's all mixed up totally. So who needs to eat what and when is a very, very, very complex, understanding. We need a complex understanding of what kind of diet in what kind of geography suits whom. So all these are also dealt with in Ayurveda. We have to go very deep into it. Coastal climate, there's a specific kind of food. Arid climate like desert climate, like we need a different kind of food. So we need to customize what kind of diet is suitable for him. So when I gave the talk in San Diego, the community requested like we need a geographical relevant diet for San Diego. So I did it for them. So now for here also, let me understand the geography through the year and seasonal variations and suggest what best is suitable for geographic climate. Again, as I said, there is something known as Rutuchari. Each season, what kind of variations in food is necessary, that is also touched upon. Next time we will plan it in a different way. Maybe we will have a series of talks on diet, on lifestyle, on clinical side, on different diseases, preventive care. We will do it in a better way. As we are, I am just taking you through this presentation, touching upon many aspects. About Ayurveda again, though we have a history beyond 2000 BC, we see Ayurveda having 8 specializations. Today we see hundreds of super specializations. Ayurveda tried to have a reach over every system of healthcare, every branch of healthcare under these 8